Hello, yogis. Our practice today, I focused on the quote of learning how to savor our little victories as much as we criticize our little mistakes. Perfectly orchestrated by the universe, my microphone wasn't working. So I was going to delete this class and do it all over again. And then I thought, we are trying to really get over this idea of polished perfection. We want to show up in our lives authentically, knowing that we are all fumbling, stumbling, failing, and that that's okay. That is perfect. So I am going to post this practice with a not so perfect audio component, and I hope that you still enjoy it. From my heart to yours, namaste. So come and join me at the end of your mat. So it'll be the left end of your mat or facing me, whatever your preference is. Closing down the eyes and coming into the awareness of your breath, connecting to your body, and setting an intention only if you wish. Taking one more conscious, connected breath in. And on your exhalation, please release your hands as you circle and sweep your arms high on your in-breath. On your exhalation, ease your way into a forward fold with hands to your shins, your knees, or all the way to the earth. And then separate your feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees as much as you need. And please cradle the opposing elbow and just decide whether stillness is what your body is craving or inviting just a little bit of movement. I'd love for you to really savor little victories as we move through our practice, celebrating our ability to rise to a challenge, taking 2 more breaths before pausing in your stillness. Please bring your hands to your shins or your fingertips to floor as you move into a flat back extension. And then grounding your hands, and please just step back with your right leg as you ground through your right knee. Let's take a moment just to bring a little bit of opening into our right hip flexor. So both hands pressing into your left knee. Checking that your left knee is right above your ankle and that your knee is tracking towards your second and your third toe. We're descending through the pelvis, but at the same time, we're scooping and tucking through the tailbone to activate our glute stabilizer and lifting energetically through pelvic floor and drawing in through the abdominal wall. Just taking 2 more breaths as you are. 1 more full, deep, beautiful breath in. And on the exhalation, ground your hands and let's open up a little bit more through our hamstrings. So drawing the toes back as we come into Ardha Hanumanasana, a half split. And as we draw the toes back, we might feel a little bit of a neural sensation. So experimenting with flexing and pointing through your left foot. As you endeavor to keep your heart lifted, your chin lifted, and squaring through the pelvis as best as we can. Taking 1 more full deep breath with a little bit of movement, and then pausing with your toes drawing back. Take 1 more breath in to really exaggerate the lift of the heart, the length of your spine, and then untuck your toes and just see if you can slide your hips back towards your heel. If that does not feel good to you, just stay in that very first option, please. Once we arrive here, we can rock the hands a little bit further. Bow the head if it feels good to your body. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. In your in-breath, just slowly rise your way back into low Anjali Asana. And please just slide back to high plank before you land your knees and travel through just a mini slow chaturanga. exploring a baby back bend with cobra. And let's take 2 breaths here. So energize your legs, squeeze your elbows in, and draw the head of the shoulders back. And then when you're ready, easing your way up and back into your first downward facing dog. Pedaling a little bit through the heels if that feels divine. And exaggerating the length through the arms, the spine. But never, ever, ever do we need to have straight legs. Taking one more breath with a little bit of movement before embracing stillness and gazing between your feet or to your knees. Spread your fingers, lengthen your arms, engage your core, spreading through your toes, but bending your knees as much as your body requires. One more full breath. And on your inhalation, arch the tips of your toes, bend your knees, and please step your right foot between your hands. Release your back knee and crawl up so your hands are resting on your right thigh. Once you're there, descending a little bit into your front hip, checking that your right knee is above your right ankle, pelvis descending, but at the same time, tuck your tailbone to engage through your core and through your left glute max in particular. And then exaggerate the lift of the heart as we stay for 2 more breaths. Savor your victories. 1 more breath. And as we shift our way back, we ground. We find connection to the tips of our toes, to the lift of our heart, the scooping of the abdominal wall, and a gentle neural flossing as we begin to flex and point. So this idea comes from James Cleary, who wrote the book called Atomic Habits. And we want to make sure that we savor the little victories as much as we criticize our little mistakes. 1 more breath as we pause with the toes drawn back. And then staying exactly as you are, or release your toes and sliding your hips towards your left heel. Deciding whether there's a little bit of space to move the hands forward, and then just releasing your head momentarily. So we often are really proficient and professional at being super critical of all the little mistakes, all the little fumbles and stumbles that we make. But we forget to celebrate the little victories along our way, day by day. So as we move and breathe together, I want you to really release that critical mind and connect with a voice that is encouraging, supportive, and uplifting. When you're ready, lifting through your heart, through your head, shifting your weight forward. And once you've arrived here, lift your back knee, step your feet together at the top of your mat or the left end of your mat before releasing your head and relaxing your shoulders. Circle and sweep your arms all the way up to ceiling. Press your palms, look to your thumbs. Releasing your hands home to your heart center, Samastitihi. So we're building our flow by beginning in chair pose, so Utkatasana. We check that our feet are together and our knees are together. So it doesn't matter how deep we sink into this posture, we're just finding the right level that allows us to celebrate and feel beautiful alignment through our spine and through our hip and knee joints. Take 1 more deep breath in together, and on the exhalation, ease your way into your forward fold. On the in-breath, hands to shins or fingertips to floor, flat back extension before stepping or hopping if you're ready, and lowering through chaturanga on your knees or your toes. Take a baby cobra or an upward facing dog, and then we lift ourselves up and back to downward facing dog. Your left foot is going to cross over your right ankle, and I'm hoping you feel a really beautiful stretch down the outer sweep of your right arm. We can keep the right knee bent, but we're really dedicated to lengthening and strengthening. Connection without criticism. And when the time is right for you, we begin the first round with a level pelvis in a three-legged dog. So we're gazing at our right big toe, we're pressing strongly into our hands, and we're energetically pressing our left heel away. Take one more full deep breath in and out. And on the inhalation, we rise to the tips of our right toes, gaze forward and step between our hands. Pivot your right foot to prepare for warrior two, and then ease your way up into the up shape, pressing into the outer edge of your right foot and checking that your left hip and knee is in alignment with your knee right above your ankle. Lengthen through your arms, maybe descend into the knee, just see how it feels for you. And gazing down your right middle fingernail, left fingernail. One more full deep breath in and out. On our in-breath, we'll flip the palm. We'll come to a sun warrior, just staying here for a moment. So quite often when we lift the eye gaze, the knee buckles inwards. It's a mysterious thing. So we're going to connect to the pinky toe side of our foot, pressing our left knee that direction. Taking one more full breath in. And on your exhalation, we're windmilling the arms, we're framing the foot, and we're sliding back to high plank before moving through chaturanga on knees or toes. Baby cobra or upward facing dog before lifting ourselves up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot crosses over left, stand breathe for 3. One more breath. And then rising through your right leg in and out. Pelvis stays level. The more you press into your hands, the easier this posture will be. So you're gazing at your left big toe as you press energetically through your right heel. One more breath in through the nose. Slow breath out through the nose. Rising to the tips of your left toes. I'm about to turn my back on you, but we're all moving to Virabhadrasana 2 with the right leg forward. So setting up the architecture, checking hip and knee alignment, knee over ankle, sinking into the front knee as much as it feels possible for you. And then really energetically bring some awareness into your left leg and your left arm. Last 2 breaths. One more breath in and out. We'll flip the palm, we'll come to sun warrior. We might descend a millimeter deeper as we press the right knee towards the pinky toe side. Your belly's on strong, your breath is smooth and deep, and you're taking one more full breath in before windmilling your arms, framing your foot, and sliding back to your high plank. Lowering through chaturanga or just staying in high plank. Choosing baby cobra or upward facing dog before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Lift to the tips of the toes on the in-breath. Exhale, bend your knees, look at the end of your mat. Stepping or hopping, we'll lift and lengthen to flat back extension before gently pouring ourselves into our forward fold. Please bend your knees, come low into Utkatasana, and just stay right here. Variation 1, we can always use the hands to support our lower back. Variation 2, hands come forward. And variation 3, we're going to balance on the tips of our toes. Feeling the connection to the earth, feeling the strength of the legs and the abdominals. Taking one more breath in. And on your exhalation, land your heels, release your head, release your heart. Full breath in as we lift and lengthen. Exhaling to step or pop, chaturanga, dandasana. Baby cobra or upward facing dog before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. We're crossing left foot over right just for a breath. And then we're lifting into a three-legged dog, but an open pelvis position, please. One breath to stay as you stamp down through your left hand. We're lifting to the tips of the toes, stepping all the way through. Take a moment to prepare for warrior two. Spreading through your wings, descending through your knee. Just one more breath in and out. On the in-breath, flip the palm, come to your sun warrior, just staying for 2 breaths. Maybe looking to your top hand or even looking to your bottom hand. On your next in-breath, lengthen through your front leg and turn towards me. Take your right hand to the curve of your lower back and begin to ease yourself into a wide leg forward fold. Supporting yourself with your left hand directly underneath your face and then pressing into the pinky toe side of your foot. Spinning the heart towards your right and only sending your top arm high if that feels good to your body. Last 3 breaths. One more full, deep, expansive breath in. And on your exhalation, release your hand and take a moment to capture your calves or your heels as you move into a wide leg forward fold. Let the body shift slightly forward. And again, pressing energetically into the pinky toe side of the feet. Engage your legs. Engage your core. One more breath. You'll ground your hands directly beneath your shoulders. You'll press the earth away as you lift your heads and hearts. Pivoting towards the left end of your mat, please. Before stepping to the top of the mat, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees to your Utkatasana, send your hands forward, stay here. Option 1, option 2, and variation 3 to the tips of our toes as we stay boldly and bravely for 2 more breaths. One more breath in before we release the heel, the hands, the head, the effort. Inhale, shining the light of your heart forward before stepping or hopping, transitioning straight and strong, energizing and opening on the in-breath before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. You're crossing right over left, just for a breath. Before sending your right leg high, open pelvis, but we want to keep the shoulders square. So stamping down through your right hand a little bit more as we take one more breath. Rising to your tippy toes before stepping through and prepare for your warrior two. So you know what you're looking for in terms of your alignment. And then just really engage the muscles so that we're not passively falling into them, we're actively working into them. Flip the palm. Take a moment to really lengthen through your right side body, gazing to the top hand or gazing to your bottom hand. One more breath. We'll lengthen through the front leg before turning to the long edge of the mat. And this time it's your right hand directly underneath your face with your left hand in the curve of your lower back. Bend your knees as much as you need and only create rotation if that feels good to your body. Press a little bit more firmly into your left foot and into your right hand and sending your left arm skywards, maybe looking to the floor, to the side or to the top hand. Last 2 breaths. One more full, smooth breath in before gently releasing the hands to the earth. Once again, capturing just for a moment into your wide leg forward fold, using your core strength, your arm strength, your leg strength to connect you to a deeper aspect of your posture. On your in-breath, you'll lift your heads, your hearts, before pivoting towards the left end of your mat. Inhale to step your feet together, flat back extension, before exhaling into your forward fold, please. Bend your knees, take a seat. You know where we're going to that Utkatasana, balancing on the tips of our toes, only if that is the right expression of this posture for you today. One more breath before easing our way in. This is the last time through our flow. Inhale, flat back extension, before stepping or hopping, transitioning through Chaturanga, heads of the shoulders back. As we roll open, how energized can you make your legs? And then lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot over left for breath. And then sending your right leg high. Please bend your knee and open through your pelvis any amount that your body will allow, while continuing to stamp down with your right hand. Taking one more beautiful breath in. Listen, you're threading through to a fallen triangle. So that means your left foot steps towards your left hand. And this is variation 1. Variation 2, you'll roll over onto your right hand, looking to the floor, or perhaps looking to the top hand. Wherever you are, savor your victories, celebrate your efforts. One more glorious breath in before releasing your eye gaze. Please bring that knee to your chest, step forward, and take a moment to land your knee. Hands come high, option to stay grounded, or option to float at bottom knee off the earth just a millimeter. Please check ear, shoulder, hip is in one line. Your core is on strong. Taking one more breath here, grounded or elevated, before circling your arms behind you. Interlace your fingers, take a lift of your heart, expansion across the chest. Maybe even lift your eye gaze for one more breath. And then tip yourself forward. Charge your back leg long and strong as you stack your heart right above your knee. Last 2 breaths here. One more full deep breath in and out. On your in-breath, take your arms wide. On your exhalation, please ground into your hands. Slide back to your high plank and lower with control. Energize and open, broaden the collarbones, lift the chin if the neck will allow, before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. So last little piece of the puzzle. Cross your left foot over your right ankle. Stay for a breath. And when you're ready, lifting through your left leg, pelvis is open, then option to bend the knee. Press your foot to the right, but please square your shoulders by pressing more energetically through your left hand. One more deep breath in before transitioning to your version of fallen triangle. So crossing under. And then please feel free to stay with both hands on your mat. Variation 2, you're welcome to test it. And just see if you want to look to the bottom hand or to the top hand as we stay and breathe for 2 more breaths. One more breath in. Spot your landing. Bring that knee to your chest before stepping through and landing your back knee. Hands high as we breathe in. Option to stay grounded, option to float just slightly. Stacking ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip. Belly is on strong, pelvis is level. We're circling the arms down and around. Maybe a baby back bend, maybe a slight lift of your chin as we stay for 2. One more breath in, and then ease your way forward. Charge your back leg so strong, make it super long. The heart is buoyant, the shoulders are looping back, and the knuckles are reaching energetically towards your back heel. Last 2 breaths. One more breath in and out. On the in-breath, send your arms wide. On the exhalation, ground your hands, and please step your feet to the top of your mat, lifting your head, lifting your heart, before easing your way into your forward fold. Bend your knees. Last time into that Utkatasana. Hands lift. Maybe they're resting on your knees. Final opportunity to balance on the tips of your toes, squeezing the knees in. Last 2. One more, please, before easing your way into your forward fold. Please pause here for a moment. Just let your body relax and heel toe your feet as wide as your mat with your toes slightly hanging off the edge of your mat. Option to come into just a supported handy squat with our elbows here. You're welcome to sit on a block or bolster. Coming that little bit deeper if this feels good to your body. Let's just take a moment, reconnecting to our attention, connection to our bodies, to our breath, to this moment. One more, please. So just playing is the key word, playing with an arm balance, but giving you many options along the way. So from here, we just lift the hips. You're going to keep the toes wide. And I'd like for you to begin just by cupping your heels, okay? So cupping the heels with the thumb and the index finger, and just wiggle your way into an odd-looking forward fold. So this is option 1. We're just staying, stretching. Nothing more needs to happen. Variation 2, you'll keep that same shape with your hands, but you're grounding your hands behind your heels. And the more we can wiggle our shoulders under, you'll then find that your triceps hold your legs. So from there, nothing more than lifting the chin. We could play with lifting one foot and then play with lifting the other. And if it feels safe, just picking up both feet for a moment. And if it still feels like there's room to play with, you're lengthening your legs any amount that feels right for your body. You could stay level, parallel, or you could let the hips sink a little bit so the legs elevate. Wherever you are, once again, savor your victories for one more breath before gently releasing your feet. We'll all meet at that funny looking stretch. And then I'd like for you just to come to child's pose, please. Knees wide, big toes together, releasing your hips towards your heels, releasing your head and your shoulders as you flood the breath into the back of your body. Letting go of any effort, letting go of any tension, letting go of any criticism, and savoring our little victories. One more breath. When the time is right, ripple your way up into 4-point kneeling. And I'm just going to turn to face you as we come into Sukhasana with our right leg in front of our left. If half lotus is part of your practice, I invite you to go there. Right hand on your thigh, left hand behind your head. Lift as you take a breath in. And then on the exhalation, bring that elbow across to the knee. On the in-breath, return straight, strong, proud through the heart, setting up our posture. Exhaling, actively moving into rotation and flexion. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping one more, please. Inhale and pause and hold here. Before sending your left hand to the mat, right hand high, and then easing your way into a gentle side bend. Press into your left hand to anchor your right hip, and then either gazing to the bottom hand or the palm of your top hand. One more deep, smooth breath in and out. On your in breath, please take a twist with your left hand finding your right knee, your right hand finding the earth behind you. As we breathe in, we grow a little taller, and as we exhale, we're just gently revolving a little deeper. Getting a beautiful posture, infusing the pose with your breath, with your air. One last breath. Turning your eye gaze on your in breath, exhaling to release your twist. Hands behind you for a moment as you bring your feet out in front, and we'll take float pose, please. So variation 1, just sitting tall. Variation 2, taking your arms forward. And variation 3, floating the toes a little bit or bring the shins parallel. Roll the shoulders back. On your in breath, find your center. On your exhalation, tap your left foot. Inhale to float. Exhale, right toes lightly kiss the floor. Gently return. As 4 in your own time. Last 3. 2 to go. One more time, and then as we hit the top of the movement, please just release. I'm going to turn this way. We're crossing our right leg over our left. We're grounding into our hands, and we're turning our fingertips out to the side. Variation 1, we are just focusing on posture. Variation 2, there'll be a slight lift of your pelvis only as far as it feels right for your body. And then variation 3, as we come into a reverse tabletop, we can either look at our knees or we can look skywards. Broadening through the chest, breathing fully. Whatever is underneath you, I want you to energize it. And whatever is above you, open it. One more breath in before you gently, slowly peel your way down. Soft landing. And let's just roll onto our backs, maintaining this shape, please. So with your right leg on top, option 1 is to hold your right knee. Variation 2, you'll hug your left knee. And variation 3, you'll flex your feet. You'll slide your hands towards your ankles. And then you'll try and figure out which foot is which as you separate the feet. Shins parallel to ceiling. Hugging your knees close to your hearts for 2 more breaths. One more, please. When the time is right for you, you're going to ground through your left foot. Leave your right leg on top. Open your wings wide. A little tiny shift of your pelvis to your left as we take an open twist to the right. So finding connection through your shoulders. And then please gazing to look down the length of your left arm. One more deep breath from in. As you return your eye gaze skywards to the ceiling. Recenter your pelvis, uncross your legs, and hug your knees to your heart. Taking a gentle rock from side to side. Before you rock and roll your way into a seated position. Take your legs long, take your hands high as we move into Paschimottanasana. Bend your knees as much as you need as you lengthen your nose towards your toes. Shoulders are soft. With the left leg in front of the right. You can stay facing that way, but I'll turn this direction. Floated hips as part of your practice. And then bringing your left hand to your side, right hand behind your side. Breathe in together. And on your exhalation, rolling down and around, elbow towards your knee. On your in-breath, come high. And on your exhalation, down and around we go. Last two. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time. Inhale, pause, and hold. Before releasing your right hand, sending your left arm high. Take a breath in to reach the tips of your fingers before taking that gentle side lift. So we're pressing with the right hand to anchor through the left hip. And we're gazing to the right hand, hold the palm of the left. Last two breaths. On your in-breath, we rise high. On the out-breath, we take a twist with the right hand to left knee, left hand behind you supporting you, and then easing your way into rotation. How tall can you grow as you breathe in? And can you harness the strength of your core and your arms to deepen the rotation with your exhalation? When the time is right for you, your in-breath returns your eyes. Your exhalation releases your twist. Hands behind you, bringing both legs out in front one last time for your Navasana. So variation 1, holding onto your knees. Variation 2, reaching your hands forward. And variation 3, floating to our feet. On our in-breath, we pause. On the exhalation, tapping both toes. And then only if it feels right, lengthen through both legs. Exhaling to lightly tap the toes. Inhaling to float the legs any amount. Just 2 more. Exhale, tap. Sweat dripping off my nose. Rising up. One more time. Ready, pause, hold at the top for a brief moment before releasing down. Hands behind you. It will be your left leg over your right. I'm going to turn this way again. So fingertips turn out. Round through your heels. Round through your hands. Variation 1, we're just exaggerating the length of the spine, the lift of our heart. Variation 2, a tiny little lift of the pelvis as you broaden through the collarbones. And then as far as your shoulders will allow, as far as the strength in your hamstrings and your glutes will allow, opening front body, strengthening back body for 2 more breaths, please. And when you are ready, gently easing your way back down to the earth, keeping the left leg on top as you roll your way down onto your back. Once we're here, we're holding onto either the left knee, the right knee, and we're flexing our feet into dorsiflexion, capturing our shins, and it is really brain training this one, trying to figure out which leg is which. So we're drawing the knees inwards, we're pulling the feet gently apart, and we're attempting to get our shins parallel to the ceiling, to the floor. Last deep breath. And at the end of your exhalation, keeping your legs crossed, round through your right foot, open your wings wide. Pelvis slightly to your right. Knees patiently move to your left. Shoulders remain grounded and equal, and turning to either look skywards or down the length of your right arm. Right mind, right side body. begin by returning your arms. Use your core, use your arms to come home safely. Enter your pelvis, uncross your legs, simply grabbing your knees to your chest, rocking When the time is right, separate your knees, stand on the ceiling, and come into your version of happy baby pose, holding onto hamstrings, calves, or your feet. Really deliberately soften through the back of your body, through your head, your shoulders, your spine, your tailbone. And inviting a gentle movement only if that feels wonderful to your body. Making friends with our own bodies. As we age, I think that finally becomes the greatest blessing. We finally come into a loving friendship with ourselves, with our bodies. Letting go of the critical mind, celebrating the gift of these bodies. Please find your stillness. And I'd like for you to keep your knees wide, but just slide your hands to your knees instead of your feet. We're keeping the left leg open, and we're grounding through the right foot. Option 1. Option 2, you'll slide that right leg long, opening at the front of your right hip. Use your right weight to pull your heel down. And then if it feels good to your shoulder, you'll reach your right arm overhead. Exaggerate the reach from fingertip to toe. And at the same time, exaggerate the openness through your left inner spine. Before you gently return your knees back to the midline, leave your right leg long and begin to gently unravel and lengthen through your left leg. Hold onto your hamstrings or your calf, or you're welcome to take your left peace fingers to your left big toe with your right hand resting on your right thigh. Invite you to close your eyes. Taking one more full, deep, beautiful breath in. And on your exhalation, please bring both knees back to your heart center before separating the knees again. We'll ground through our left foot. We can stay there. Variation 2, you're lengthening through the left leg as you keep the right knee open. Please anchor through your left heel by using your left glutes to extend the hip and using your quadriceps to extend your knee. Sending your left arm overhead if your shoulder will allow. Please exaggerate the dynamic reach through the left side of your body from fingertip to toe. Keeping your left leg long, draw your right knee back to your heart and begin to lengthen any amount through your right leg. Hold your hamstring, hold your calf, or right peace fingers just to grip your big toe as your left hand finds your left thigh. Energize your legs through the front, and then please deliberately bring softness to your back body, your head, your shoulders, your spine, your back. smoothly, bending both knees, rounding through both feet. Place your palms on the earth by your pelvis. Deliberately walk your feet in a little bit closer towards your hips. Bring your feet slightly closer together than you normally would in your bridge, because I'd love for you to cross your right leg over just as you did a moment ago for your reverse tabletop. So feeling the four corners of your left foot, energize your core, your pelvic floor, and then tuck your tailbone and really press into the four corners of your left foot. Feeling your left hamstring working with your left glute and your pelvic tendon, but then also grip through the inner seam of the leg. So as we activate inner thigh, pelvic floor engages, which helps our deepest abdominal muscles to engage as well. One more breath, please, as you lift a millimeter higher, and then you'll simply uncross, recross, and once that left leg is over, press down in order to lift up, feeling the four corners of the right foot. Energize your hamstring, energize your right glute, and then feel the inner thigh working with your pelvic floor and your abdominals. Last two breaths. Before we uncross, we ground for a moment to level out the pelvis, and then we roll down one vertebra at a time. Once you're safely on the earth, you'll gather your knees to your heart. You'll hug yourselves very tightly and rock your body so gently. And if there is anything else your body's needing, please take it now. So you might feel like you want to take one more happy baby pose. You might feel like you need one more twist. It might be a reclining center floor you're looking for. It might be a little bit more of a hip opener with your feet wide. So please just tune into your body. Really notice how your body is feeling. I invite you to take a minute or two just to explore whatever your body is craving. I'm going to come to Supta Baddha Konasana, so just butterfly. So if that's what your body's asking for, come and join me. I'm just going to rock for a moment to really release my sacroiliac joints, and then just seeking stillness if you're with me. With our hands either resting on the inner thigh to deepen slightly. If it's feeling strong, take your hands underneath you to support you. Or maybe you want to connect more deeply with your heart, with your breath. And if that is you, just placing your hand, one on your heart, one on your abdominals. So whatever postures you're exploring, you have about 5 more breaths. And then please come and join me in Shavasana once you've completed the stretches you were doing. If your back is sore at all, this is the posture I want you to take with your knees together and your feet wide. Pregnancy options, you can stay on the back until last trimester, and then we come onto our right. So right is right. You would lay on your right side for pregnancy options, with hopefully a bolster or a pillow between your knees for comfort. We're all going to really feather our necks and just sink into this softness, that surrender, offers us. Completely letting go of our efforts, but celebrating, savoring all of the little victories that happen during your practice. Learning how to support ourselves, learning how to encourage ourselves, learning how to love ourselves, loving our warts, our scars, our thorns, our mistakes, our mistakes. And please, as you stay in break, you consciously set your eyes steady, maybe on the back of your eyelids or the back of your forehead. You release the control of your breath, but you observe it with such heightened awareness. And you feel your breath. Your eyes are steady. You're observing the moving in and the moving out of your breath. And you're really feeling how that is feeling in your body. Witnessing your awareness, connecting to your breath. Allowing the rhythm of the breath to continue to release and relax any tension that might still be remaining in your body. And our quote for today, as we stay just a moment longer in our Shavasana: friendships, as we age, take on a new depth. The standards are higher. The circle grows smaller. You prioritize connections that uplift and support you, leaving no room for relationships that drain you. People who genuinely have your back. Friendships as we age take on a new depth. The standards are higher. The circle grows smaller. You prioritize connections that uplift and support you, leaving no room for relationships that drain you. Only people who genuinely have your back. And make sure that that list of people who genuinely have your back includes yourself. So with your eyes remaining closed just for a moment longer. We savor the little victories. We celebrate our efforts. And we practice gratitude for this day and this body. Please begin to invite gentle, mindful movement back into your body as you deepen your breath and expand your awareness. Inviting gentle movement into your fingers, your toes, your hands, your feet. Little movement through your shoulders, your neck, your hips. And only if it feels good for you, you're welcome to reach your arms above you Taking a full big body on from fingertip to toe. The floor, sliding your arms down and around, bending your knees one at a time. Please gather your knees to your hearts. Hug yourselves lovingly. Rock your bodies gently. And ease your way over onto the right-hand side of the body, lingering for one last victorious breath before navigating your way to a seated position. Any position at today's breath. We lengthen through our spine. We bring our hands to our hearts in undulating breath. And we end each practice consciously sending our hopes, our prayers, and our blessings out into the world with a conscious breath. So taking one last full breath together before closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. Thank you, beautiful crew. Look forward to seeing you soon.